Welcome. This is going to be our first devlog. Our devlog this week is going to be going through the week starting from Tuesday all the way to Friday, just to give a little bit of an insight on what we do day to day. The reason we missed Monday is because some of us were enjoying the day off. It was Bank Holiday Monday here in England. And without further ado, let's get on with it. To begin each working day, we talk about what we were working on yesterday, what we're working on today, and what's blocking us. Other than that, the only other things we talked about was how we're going to get something to show to publishers. That's been our biggest goal since finishing Done Dev, and we haven't quite got there yet. Games always take longer than you expect, but we want to get something that is polished and really shows off our vision of the game. So we invested over £400 on assets. These include skeletal meshes for enemies, animations for the enemies, along with some grenade animations and some steampunk style grenades. I began work on the reloading functionality, which takes the bullets from the player's inventory and loads the gun. Along with that, I worked on a physical bullet pickup, which at the moment is just one, but we are planning on doing different sizes and different amounts of bullets that you can pick up, maybe packs or like a pile of bullets. So we're focusing on a very minimalistic design for the UI throughout the game, and we want to have diegetic UI where possible. For a quick prototype, I mocked up a widget that is going to be on the gun as you aim in, showing how much ammo you have left. After that, I worked on creating a shootable blueprint. So this is going to be a blueprint that anything we want to be shootable and have an effect can be derived from this base, which has a leak component. So every time it's shot, it spawns a leak, which spawns a hazard, and we can have as many leaks as we want. It's all in a data table. As you can see, we have fire, electric, water, oil, and steam. To finish off the day, I fixed a bug with shooting straight after throwing an object with the gun in your hand. Chris was getting all the assets for the resources, which included writing them in data tables, finding the assets, and placing them around the levels. He started putting down the pipes that I worked on. It's more of finding how they fit in the current level and how you can create some cool experiences. It was kind of a slow day after the meeting. It was quite a long meeting, took up most of the day, and Ant sadly has kind of slow internet speed, so he was just uploading the £400 worth of assets that we bought off the store into the project, and that took pretty much all day. Ed was working on the bathysphere. This is getting to a good stage now. He was working on the interior, the ceiling, the floor, the ports on the side of the wall. Here is some screenshots of some of the work that he was getting up to. As you can see, it's looking fantastic. We had another meeting again, some discussion about inventories. We're going to be moving away from the Resident Evil style inventories and adopting a inventory similar to that of Fallout 4. This decision is more influenced by the fact that we want the looting to be very satisfying. We had a long-ish meeting, not as long as Tuesday, but my my source control was bugging out, so I didn't get much done until after lunch. Before that, I was doing a lot of planning and creating tasks for the month of May. I finished off shootable pipes today. So these are pipes that can be extended using splines. Very handy for the level designer Chris to be able to quickly come up with a design of pipes without being restricted to using explicit predefined meshes with angles. After that, I worked on the AI trigger, which has multiple functions. Now this is going to teleport the AI. We're not planning on using this on every map, but the new map that we're creating, we need the AI to teleport to the different floors, because the only way you can get between floor and floor is an elevator. Now we're not just going to have the AI randomly disappear in front of the players. I made sure that the AI cannot teleport when a player is looking at them. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to make it so there's either holes in the wall that the mutants come out from, or holes in the floor like mounds. And to finish off the day, I started work on the priest. As I mentioned, the priest is going to control its followers and it's going to send them after the player. So I started work on getting the animations hooked up. I realized I needed to do some retargeting. So Chris has been working on implementing some sneak pathways, which we found in experimentation that they work quite well.
It just gives the player a different way to approach their level each time. Say the ghost is wandering around in a different part of the map this time, so the player can't go its usual route. So they got to find an alternate route, and maybe they realize there's a vent in the side of the wall that they can go into if they climb up and place some boxes. So it just gives a different flavor each time you approach the same map.
Ant worked on adding all the animations for the gun. We had massive issues in getting them to look semi-decent or actually work at all, and he managed to get them all in and working with animation montages. There was still some fixing that needed to happen, like reloading. It's not quite perfect.
On Thursday, I worked on retargeting animations for the new Banshee model that we have. So it's going to be able to use the demon animations that we purchased on Tuesday. So retargeting in Unreal is basically Unreal's way of telling one skeleton that's different from the other how to move in the same sort of way when doing a animation. I ended up then after that creating blend spaces for the undead and the priest. Blend spaces in Unreal are a simple way of saying when you're at this speed you are doing this animation, or when your direction is this you're doing this animation. Basically how it moves around and animates in a realistic way. After that I set up all of the attack animations for the undead and the priest. I tailored speed values, when to apply the damage, the actual amount of damage for each attack for both priest and undead. I started work on the priest controlling the undead, however I wasn't really happy with it today. It keeps track of all the undead with an array. As I mentioned, the priest model will transition on command. To finish off the day, I worked on randomized idle animations for the undead. This includes the play rate and the actual animation itself, to try to make it so that all of the undead kind of appear unique. Chris usually has the unfortunate task of working with the tools I create for him. Today he was trying to implement the AI trigger, the AI teleport. It works really well with the ghost. We're going to have to experiment with the other AI, but as I said, there's going to be these little holes that they can climb out from, so we're going to have to work on an animation with that.
And continued to work on the gun animations. Reloading has improved since Wednesday. It's still a tiny bit off, but it's had some improvement, and these things are going to impact how it feels to play the game every time you click reload, so it's quite important to get right.
To finish off the week, on Friday, I did some polish and bug fixing for the gameplay teaser we are releasing very soon. Here is a big list of all of the bug fixing and polish that I did. As you can see, it took up to about 12 because there's quite a few things to get done. We had quite a brief meeting in the morning because we wanted to get some productive things done before the weekend. As I mentioned what blend spaces are, I ended up creating 4 unique ones to try to have some variation in the way the undead chase you. I ended up playing around with the speed and the attacking range of the mutants. I started writing code on how the priest controls the undead. I had some experimentation. I kind of know what feels alright and kind of know what I think I should do now after a bit of experimentation at the end of the week.
Early on in the week, we purchased a pack that contains steampunk grenades. Ant set to work implemented the grenades animation along with the meshes. It features an electrical explosion. This is really cool. You can see the mutants being electrocuted and it just looks cool. So Chris's main task on Friday was to fix and rectify issues with the factory. We went through a testing phase at an event and I met loads of great people and I'm so glad I went. Bit of a tangent there, but he's going to be blocking off areas that look like you can go to but you shouldn't be able to get to, and some areas that you can get to which you shouldn't be able to access. After that he added in a pack that he had found with some explosion effects which I'm going to have a lot of fun adding in next week.
So all in all, I don't think it was a bad week. We got quite a fair bit done.